Want to get this briefing by email? Here's the sign up. Good evening. Here's the latest. J. Scott Applewhite, Associated Press 1. Could the bipartisan Senate deal to stabilize health insurance markets pass by the end of the year? Its sponsors say yes, and a number of influential Republicans are backing it. President Trump appeared to qualify his support. House Speaker Paul Ryan came out against it. The bill, engineered by Senators Lamar Alexander and Patty Murray, would continue payouts to insurance companies for discounts they give to low-income people under Obamacare, via Agence France-Presse, Getty Images 2. The debate turned acrid over President Trump's condolence call to the widow of Sergeant David T. Johnson, above, one of 4 soldiers killed in Niger earlier this month. Sergeant Johnson's mother said that Mr. Trump did, in fact, tell his widow that he knew what he signed up for. The president has denied this, and escalated his dispute with Representative Frederica Wilson of Florida, who first described the exchange. Our White House correspondent noted how Mr. Trump has also turned the private grief of his chief of staff, John F. Kelly, into a talking point. Mr. Kelly's son was killed in Afghanistan in 2010, and Mr. Trump asserted that President Obama did not call him afterward. Tom Brenner, The New York Times. 3. Attorney General Jeff Sessions testified before the Senate Judiciary Committee, but refused to discuss his conversations with President Trump about Russia or the firing of the former FBI Director, James Comey. He also sidestepped whether it would be problematic for Mr. Trump to issue a preemptive pardon to someone of interest to Mr. Mueller's investigation. Well, the pardon power is quite broad, Mr. Sessions said. I've not studied it. I do not know if that would be appropriate or not. J.C. Hung, Associated Press 4. More than 140 women, including legislators, senior legislative aides and lobbyists, came forward to denounce what they describe as pervasive sexual misconduct by powerful men in California's state legislature. And the Olympic gold medal-winning gymnast Michaela Maroney, above in 2012, said she was abused by a team doctor who is already facing criminal charges for molesting other gymnasts. And the reporters whose blockbuster reporting on Bill O'Reilly, Silicon Valley investors and Harvey Weinstein helped open the floodgates for the wave of accusations shared how they broke their stories. Ruth Frem Sunday, New York Times. 5. And we have a very strange story of another level of abuse of women. A secretive self-help group that promised women empowerment demanded they give a master naked photos or other compromising material to guarantee their silence about its existence. And some women were even branded. The group, NXIVM pronounced Nexium, based in Albany, has operated across the U.S. and in Canada and Mexico. It's unraveling now, as the accounts emerge. Catherine Oxenberg, above, tried to get her 26-year-old daughter out of the group. Ivor Prickett for the New York Times. 6. Our photographer went to the front lines of the fight against the Islamic State in Raqqa, Syria. He was alongside the Kurdish and Arab fighters known as the Syrian Democratic Forces, who have now declared victory. Above, the funeral of a Kurdish fighter killed in the battle. Counterterrorism experts say the Islamic State is down, but not out. It has an estimated 6,000 to 10,000 fighters in Iraq and Syria, branches in North Africa and Asia, a large online network and possibly sleeper cells abroad. Kevin Frayer, Getty Images 7. President Xi Jinping of China set the tone for the Communist Party Congress in Beijing with a marathon speech. It clocked in at almost 3.5 hours. He declared a new era and stressed the country's great power, in comments that effectively claimed a stature as significant to today's China as Mao Zedong and Deng Xiaoping held in theirs. Here are 5 takeaways. From left: Patrick DeMarchelier, Peter Hugo Collier, Shore, Jackie Nickerson, Carrie Mae Weems, Osu Kuhn, Colin Dodgson. 8. Our T magazine's annual Greats issue is out, with 7 masters in their fields portrayed by other bold-faced names. Among them are Nicki Minaj, as interviewed by Roxane Gay, Stephen Sondheim by Lin-Manuel Miranda and Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie by Dave Eggers. It's hard to overemphasize Sondheim's influence on American musical theater, Mr. Miranda writes, and then offers a portrait of its history in a single paragraph. Tony Senecal of the New York Times. 9. You've heard of Tennessee whiskey. Now New York State wants to put rye whiskey on the map. And in your glass. Rye whiskey used to be prevalent in the Northeast, until Prohibition. There's been an explosion of craft distilleries nationwide, and regionalization is a way for companies to stand out. Empire Rye, the appellation for dozens of New York distillers, is celebrating New York Rye Week. Comedy Central 10. Finally, the targets for late-night hosts last night include President Trump and Harvey Weinstein, but also, oddly enough, Kansas' strapped school system. And David Letterman hinted at his least favorite late-night hosts. Lena Waithe, Aziz Ansari's Emmy-winning co-writer and co-star of Netflix Master of None, joins Trevor Noah on The Daily Show tonight 11 p.m. Eastern. Comedy Central. Have a great night. Your evening briefing is posted at 6 p.m. Eastern. And don't miss your morning briefing, posted weekdays at 6 a.m. Eastern, and your weekend briefing, posted at 6 a.m. Sundays. Want to catch up on past briefings? You can browse them here. If photographs appear out of order, please download the updated New York Times app from iTunes or Google Play. What did you like? What do you want to see here? Let us know at briefing@nytimes.com.